In order to start as a rally master or event organizer, you first need to go to advcannonball.com and find your way over to the app page. At the end of the app page, past the propaganda, you will find a form to fill out. Fill in the information and then press submit. Soon after, you will receive an email from the admin with a Rally Master token. And this is what a token looks like. And this is the only bit of information you will need. And this is the website address you need to navigate to set up your own rally. So we're going to go ahead and log in. You can do this from any computer. You can also do this from our app, and we'll get to that in a minute. So as you can see, we have no checkpoints in this rally. And how I like to create checkpoints is from a Google map. So in this example here, we have a test rally for the 2025 Outer Banks. And this is a small little rally. And the first thing I do is set up the start. Most rally check-ins happen in a hotel. And what I recommend is wherever your rally check-in or wherever you are going to physically issue the competitor tokens for them to log in to their rally app, I suggest you do it all in the same spot at the same time so you can double check the functionality of the app. So let's set up a start checkpoint. Start, and what we really want is the longitude and latitude. So I'm going to copy that into the clipboard. And I'm going to start here by new checkpoint. There are two kinds of checkpoints. There are GPS checkpoints and there are bonus checkpoints. GPS checkpoints are a regular checkpoint which run off longitude and latitude. So when the device, an Android or an iOS device, travels through the checkpoint, it will score the checkpoint. Regular checkpoints consist of the name, longitude, latitude, and the radius. In this particular case, we want to have a massive radius because we're only using this for check-in purposes to make sure the functionality of the app is working and that the user hasn't blocked GPS access or they've blocked push notifications. We just want to make sure that they haven't screwed anything up. So we're going to award this 0 points. And I usually leave the longitude and latitude here. We're going to double check that everything looks good. I'm going to press save. And every single time we enter a checkpoint, we double check the checkpoint. So yep, that's where we want it to be. And we can see that it's a giant radius. Because sometimes when we're using a GPS indoors, obviously there's some reception issues. So we just make it giant. And we can see it down here. And now the checkpoint is there. We can see the pertinent information. We can also click here and we've copied the longitude and latitude to our clipboard. We can also go in and edit the checkpoint. I already have some fake competitors already signed up here. And here's all the information for that particular checkpoint. So let's go ahead and set up another checkpoint. In this particular little rally, here's the first checkpoint. Now this is a great example of a regular checkpoint that is off the road. This checkpoint can be in the middle of the desert. It can be associated with a maritime event or a hiking event or an orienteering event, automobile racing. It doesn't really matter. This particular one is off the road, and we want competitors to exit the roadway and get this checkpoint. We don't want them to achieve the checkpoint by driving past. So let's go ahead and get the longitude and latitude. I copied it to the clipboard. I'm going over here and I'm going to click new checkpoint. I'm going to repeat the same procedure. It's super easy. Okay, and we're going to call this CP1. And you can call it whatever you want. It is a GPS coordinate. Now the radius. The radius has to be a minimum of 25 meters based on our experience. So in this particular case, we're going to put it to the minimum because we don't want to bleed over into the roadway. In this particular rally, regular checkpoints are awarded 10 points, but you can put whatever you want there. We're going to press save. And because we saved the new checkpoint, we're going to check it. We're always going to check every single waypoint. So as we can see, the radius of the checkpoint does not go onto the road. However, GPS is not absolutely perfect. If you were riding along in this truck right here, and let's say your GPS had an error of 30 or 40 meters, you could conceivably achieve that checkpoint by accident, although it's pretty rare. We can't be responsible for the accuracy of people's devices, but based on our experience, we know that you're not going to achieve this checkpoint by accident. So there is a regular off-the-road checkpoint with a radius of 25 meters. So let's go ahead and put another one in. And add the regular one. We're going to do this one here in the middle of a bridge. This is a great example of a do not stop or highway type of checkpoint. It's in the middle of the roadway. So what I like to do here is we don't want anything to go wrong. And there's no reason to make this a small radius. I'm going to call this checkpoint 2. I'm going to call it bridge. Longitude and latitude and temporary location. We're going to copy it here. I'm going to put that there. There's a regular GPS checkpoint. And I'm going to put the radius at 1,000 meters, so 1 kilometer. That way, there is no ambiguity that someone is going to miss this checkpoint. We don't want people to slow down. We don't want any risk of an operator of a vehicle to stop in this bridge. So you can see that if the rider's anywhere in this area, they're going to achieve the checkpoint. And really, there's no advantage to making that checkpoint smaller. It makes no sense. So let's go ahead and do one more checkpoint. In this particular rally, we have an extreme checkpoint. And this checkpoint is at the end of this fishing pier. And you can see the GPX route. You can choose to have one or not. In this particular rally, there is a GPX route. Brings you to this parking lot. But, if we have a smaller radius, they're not going to be able to achieve this checkpoint. They're going to have to get out of their vehicle, off their motorcycle, and walk on this pier, which I think is kind of fun. So we're going to create one more checkpoint, and we're going to call this extreme. Extreme number 1. And we're going to do the same procedure, super easy. Longitude, latitude. It's a GPS checkpoint. We're going to keep this at 25 meters because we don't want them, to achieve it by accident in the parking lot. And I'm going to arbitrarily award 25 points for this because it's an extreme checkpoint. And we've created a new checkpoint, so we're going to double check it. It's already looking good. Okay, that looks great. So there's the radius. They would have to walk out there and achieve that checkpoint. That looks great. Now let's look at some of these checkpoints. As the rally master, you can put your token in your phone. But let's just say we're monitoring the rally from home or on a laptop. And for some reason, I don't know, we want to award this regular GPS checkpoint to Sam, or perhaps Sam had won it, but he's disqualified somehow. So we can go ahead and remove that checkpoint or award these checkpoints to whomever. And you can see here that checkpoints are recorded in universal coordinated time. And you can see they were all 1 second apart. And you can see they've been awarded the 10 points. Let's go ahead and make a bonus checkpoint for fun. Call it B1 for fun and bonus. And you'll notice that the longitude and latitude has disappeared. And let's say this is 25 points. And bonus points could be really for anything. It could be In our case, we use them for the first to arrive somewhere, or sportsman-like conduct, or something fun. Best costume, I'm not really sure. So I'm going to go ahead and award Aaron that bonus checkpoint. Now let's go ahead and check our leaderboard. So you will be able to see all the competitors here on the leaderboard. There'll be little dots with their assigned numbers. And we can see the information each competitor, who is in first place, the number of checkpoints, the points, and the last checkpoint that they achieved. Now let's look at a competitor. Let's create a competitor. The first thing we're going to notice here is that these are the numbers already assigned. So we cannot choose that number. So I can see that number 6 is available. So I'm going to go ahead and choose 6. I'm going to put this person's name in here. Dan is the person's name. I'm going to put their team. It's the farm team. And I'm going to put their vehicle as a BMX. Okay, well, they've appeared. Where are they? Dan. Now we're going to view Dan's progress. Dan hasn't achieved anything, obviously, but let's just pretend he's achieved all of these things. And he's won the bonus. And that's it. So Dan's device would have been awarded all those points. And let's just check the leaderboard. Yep, and Dan's crushing it. Dan's got 5 checkpoints. He's currently got 66 points. And if Dan's phone was connected to the internet, we would see Dan here on the screen. And then let's practice sending a message to everyone. If you want to send a message to all the competitors, when you press send, everybody's phone, if it's connected, there you go.
New message from the event organizer.
Everyone's phone would have heard that, and a message would have pushed and popped up, even if the app is closed, on everyone's device. If it's connected to the internet, obviously it's not magic, and if they have logged into their phone. So we will go ahead and switch over to the phone. And now we've moved over to an iOS device, and we're going to use the same token that was given to us by the admin. And the phone has to be obviously connected to the internet, and only the iOS version of the app currently has Rally Master functionality. However, as a competitor, you can use Android or iOS. And here's the same rally information that we see. Let's check the leaderboard, and all the same information is there. We see Dan is winning. Dan's competitor number 6, and we can see that he has 66 points. At this point, we can click Generate Public Link. You would click that, copy the link to your clipboard, and that can be shared to anyone in or outside of the rally who wants to just check leaderboard for that particular event that you're running. Also, if I just log out quickly, if anyone downloads the app and doesn't have a token, they can still click leaderboard, and they can they can see all the events and leaderboards that are currently running. So you don't necessarily have to share the public link. You can just say, go get the app on whatever store. I'm going to go ahead and log out. Coincidentally, you have to be online to log in and log out no matter which device you're on. I'm going to go ahead and punch in my token for Rally Master functionality. And here I can see all the competitors. I can add a competitor. It's the exact same as the web app. We can see the details about a competitor and edit them. We can generate their tokens for them here. Competitor number 2 hasn't been issued a token yet, so let's go ahead and generate one. And that would be the token that we would give that competitor to punch into their iOS or Android device to become a competitor. Simple as that. Now let's see how well Dan is doing. Well, Dan's done all these checkpoints, and we can coincidentally unaward checkpoints or award checkpoints at will here also. And we can sort in different ways as well. let's go ahead and practice sending a message. So we know we sent this message from the web app, but we can go ahead and send the message to everyone from our mobile devices also.
New message from the...
And what else? And that's it. Yeah. So we suggest that people use the web app when creating larger events. It's just cumbersome to cut and paste longitude and latitude. However, when you're running an event and in the field, this is a great option as well. The iOS GPS checkpoint rally app, Rally Master functionality on iOS.